And joined by Bernie Dolan, Executive Director of the West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission. Bernie, here at the Boys State Tournament, you've had a look about a season long of the new pilot program for 4A's and 4 classes in basketball. How's that working out, do you think?
I think right now, as you watch the tournament, especially last week's girls tournament, and then the first half of this tournament, I think it shows that we have put schools in classes they belong, and I think it's been very exciting. There's lots of schools who have never been here, or it's been a long time since they've been here, and they've come down and performed well. And you look at yesterday's AAA, we had a 8 beat a 1 and a 7 beat a 2.
Never happened.
So I think we certainly have proven there's a lot of depth in the way this has been restructured.
Was that the main goal behind it? Was it more getting schools where they belong, or getting schools where you could have more participation, give kids an opportunity to at least experience this? You got, I guess, 16 more schools.
Yeah,
to do
well,
this.
I think if you try to put people where they belong, then it in turn will bring different people.
So some validation from yesterday, what happened to the naysayers, would be a little validation what happened yesterday.
Exactly. Hampshire's a great example because they're a small AAA under the old system. They are a large rural school that has a lot of challenges because of how big they are, size-wise, and how spread out. And so I think they've proven that they probably belong in the AAA and not the Quad A, and they can compete very well at this level.
And you've been the executive director, I think, now 2-3 years?
6
years? Time flies.
It does.
But, I mean, what a time you've had to go through here for this last year. I mean, all the decisions you've had to make regarding the tournament last year. Has it been a really trying to, personally, is it tough because when you're telling kids you can't play, and I know you guys wrote it out with the
That's the hardest part because we're all coaches. We've all been coaches, and we know how hard these kids work to either get to the championship or just to participate all year long. And to tell that group of girls basketball teams last year, halfway through the tournament, it's over, and then to also tell the boys, you're not coming, and then eventually tell all of spring, there is no spring. That was really difficult because those seniors lost everything. They had no opportunity to make it up.
Do you feel, though, sometimes you guys have gotten maybe an unfair black eye because, let's face it, you can't make all the decisions on a pandemic situation. That's more for the health departments and health officials.
We have always followed the health department's rules that they've laid down for us, and we've tried to make the most of it. We don't get hung up on, bad press or anything.
Right.
Our hope is we're pushing forward with trying to give every kid the opportunity as safely as possible. And that's been our mission the whole time through this pandemic is opportunity safely.
Was the single hardest part of your job so far that day at the state tournament last year when everything started unraveling?
I would say that was because that unraveled rather quickly.
Right.
In the morning we were okay, and by noon everything was shut down and we had no idea how long we were going to get shut down. And throughout the spring we kept making new schedules.
When did you know you weren't going to be able to play the state tournament? Because the quickness with which it unraveled.
I got a call about 12 o'clock and asked me to come to the governor's office.
Right.
So
I remember that now.
That's exactly what time it was. And, we were in the middle of that last game and we allowed them to finish, and then we sent everybody home.
In retrospect, do you think all the right decisions were made then? Do you wish you would have maybe tried to play it out, given that COVID hadn't spread a whole lot at that point? But of course, safety trumps everything,
Yeah.
I know. But still,
Hindsight, you'd say, oh, there wasn't anything in here. But how bad would it have been had we brought everybody in from all over the state and then say we don't have any anywhere, and then all of a sudden everybody leaves the tournament, goes home, and it's spread all over the state. So I think we always tried to make the right decision based on the facts we had at that time. Some of them turned out we probably could have made better decisions if we had hindsight. But during this, you're just trying to go with the information you have.
Right. One more on the 4A. Is this something that could spread into other sports? The 4-class.
I think you'll
program?
see maybe spread into some other classes. It doesn't fit every sport that we have. We currently, swim only has one class as it is.
Right.
Tennis and soccer only have two, so I wouldn't anticipate it falling into them. All the other sports have their own challenges, but if after the 2-year period, if we look at it, we think it's interesting and working, then I think you'll see committees brought in of those schools and those sports and work on something specific.
In football, for instance, and I know you'll have to go and explore it even more, but do you think 16 teams over 4 classes would work, or would you cut it back? And as sports writers, we've had to align our all-state accordingly.
Yeah.
And that's what we're working on this week as well. Do you think it would work for 16 teams in each class?
I think it could work. Football does make you nervous because you actually can impose your will on the other team. So there are challenges in football, but I think that we'll look at each sport and hopefully make the best decision for it.
Any new things on the horizon? Given the pandemic, I'm sure you're working daily with that, but are there any new things on the horizon for fans of SSAC schools to look forward to?
I think the fans may not see a whole lot, but we have some new developments that we'll be working on with sports medicine and also some progressions in football that are going to change. The other thing I think you'll see coming on board pretty soon will be robotics will be accepted as an activity in West Virginia, and they'll be under our SSAC umbrella, and we'll be able to honor those champions in the future.
All right, Bernie, as always, I appreciate the time and thank you for your candor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.